Hello and welcome to Wrestleopinionated. This is our weekly show all about the great shows of AEW. We are your hosts. I am Morg. This is
3 beers in, Matt Strange, and this is
still very, very tired. Muir.
Oh, bless you.
How are you both?
Oh, sleepy, but I have had a couple of beers, which I didn't warn you guys about in the production meeting.
Great.
Good.
Tired of wrestling. I'm not going to lie to you boys.
So have you done anything exciting this weekend?
Watch wrestling. What else is there to do?
We all got together and we enjoyed All Out. More on that tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow we'll be doing our All Out review. So this might be the first time you've listened to our podcast, and as such, you need to know that we have a tier list, which is how we rank the matches in Dynamite and the shows in general with Dark, BTE, and everything else. Mr. Strange will now explain our tier list in some form. Over to you, Mr. Strange.
Hi there. Tier lists, you've probably seen them on a few other internet videos and such like. They're based off the school system. You work up in rankings to get a better rating. I like to throw a bit of flair on them, so this week they're being themed with Decepticons because I did Autobots last week. In the lowest rank, we have a D-ranked match. A D-ranked match is one you just haven't enjoyed. You've played on your phone. It's not going to be remembered if not just for bad points. And bad points can sometimes knock you up to a top of tier out of just hilarity. The D-ranked Decepticon is obviously the one that isn't Rumble. Soundwave had those two tapes that came out of his chest, and one was Rumble, who was the badass one who'd fight everything, and then there was the other one, that guy. C-rank. C-rank is a good match. You've had a good time, everything's gone well, you know why the match is happening, you're pleased with what's going on in the ring. And I just think Megatron himself is the C-rank Decepticon. Doesn't blow anybody's mind. Oh, Muir, were you going to disagree with me there?
Oh, no?
Okay. He's just a standard Decepticon. Evil wants to take over. He's a good Decepticon, but he's not the best Decepticon. B-rank match. B-rank match is where the story is there, the wrestling is great, everything comes together, you care why the match is going on, you care what's there. And just like I cared whenever Devastator was on the screen. Had enough character to get over. He was hard enough to win battles, but he could be defeated. A B-rank Decepticon. Good enough. An A-rank match is the match of the night, probably the match of the month. You'll remember it, you'll talk about it. It's the pinnacle of storytelling, or maybe just the wrestling is just exceptional. Like the Decepticon Soundwave, who, let's be honest, got himself over, and everybody loves Soundwave on raw coolness.
S-rank voice gimmick. That's all that got him over.
Mate, Kane got over with a mask. Soundwave had no mouth and went murmur. An S-rank match is the most iconic match. It's the one you'll remember. It's the one that lives on in legacy. The storytelling is fabulous. The wrestling, there's not a botch. It's perfect. You have a wonderful time throughout, locked to the screen, no phones. And I think the best Decepticon, we can all agree, is Starscream. On raw heel power alone. He gets over, he's destroyed, he comes back. You always love Starscream. He's always there. That's an S-rank character in an S-rank match. Here you go, boys.
Very cool. Soundwave is always my favourite. I think Megatron as the toy turned into the coolest thing.
Soundwave's my favourite Decepticon, but I think Starscream takes it on raw Decepticon-ness.
He does have raw Decepticon energy of just betraying anyone at any chance that he's just betraying.
Yeah! Brilliant.
I used to like him because he was just such a dick.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. He's the ultimate heel. Everything is wrestling.
He is the Sean Spears of the Decepticon world.
Exactly.
So moving on from that, it's time for our news, and we've got a couple of little bits of news this week. Mr. Strange, I believe you've spotted something that's just worth mentioning.
Yeah, it's a small thing. Probably more on it tomorrow. Kenny's new name on the AEW site. He's got The Cleaner written under his name on the AEW official website, which is a little thing for people who follow his old character and where he could be going, and jokes from BTE.
Just going into a janitorial role. That's all.
He's going to go to our plot, just
Yes.
him and Ibushi cleaning up.
Yes, mate.
I'd say the other big news of the week, and I think it's still mainly rumour, but NXT may be having to move nights. Does this mean that AEW won the Wednesday Night War?
Over Vince's cold dead body, will he move the show unless he's forced to? Like, if
I'd rather take ratings from them than get ratings for me.
100%. The other thing is the USA Network wants to be the big wrestling show, so sacrificing one of the lower shows to keep the other company down isn't the worst thing ever for them, but I can see it happening. Like, if USA Network push it enough, but otherwise Vince is keeping that show on there, no matter how bad they're doing.
Oh, the politics of TV. What awful humanity is.
Oh,
what awful.
Well, we've only got another 50-odd years of Vince.
He won't die.
He's immortal.
He'll be uploaded to a computer.
The first man with a robot body,
Yes,
Vince
mate.
McMahon.
Yes.
He'll sound like Soundwave.
Have speakers that play "No Chance." That's what you got as he busts like through
the
walls and shit.
He's like 100-ton monstrosity now. Anyway.
So yeah, moving swiftly on. Social media of the week. This is where we like to choose a social media we sort of recommend you to follow or check out. Mr. Strange, this is your wheelhouse.
Social media. If you've watched All Out, I'd recommend having a look at Matt Seidel and Rebby Hardy for drama and intrigue. Otherwise, if you're looking for the new people who are going to be rising in AEW, I'd go for Will Hobbs. We've been going on about him on
Will Hobbs so much.
We've been fucking bigging him up on the Dark reviews for some time, and he's got some time on the pay-per-view. That's not really a spoiler. And I reckon he's going to be the next big push. He's got a genuine superhero backstory of his brother dying to save his life and shit. So, and he looks like a sound guy from everything I've seen. So, yeah, give Will Hobbs a follow. This is a dude who deserves a push on fucking backstory alone, from what I can tell.
He's got through adversity in his life to get to a position that he's wanted to be in.
Yes, mate. Exactly that. Thank you. Better words, man.
So now we come to that part of the show, and this week I feel this is going to be quite a long part of the show.
Oh God!
I've got two coffees lined up, boys. I'm going to make it through.
It's time to review the week. It's been quite a long week this week. We're not going to do these in the order they were released for reasons. So we're going to kick off, as always, with BTE, or Being the Elite. What did you guys think of BTE this week?
I actually took notes this week.
I really enjoyed this week's BTE.
Yeah, it was a really good one. It was solid. The Dark Order, always great. Five's fucking hair extensions. Anna Jay being like the bully of the group was great. What did Colt do?
Colt was trying to get his face restored because he had the gold removed, but no doctor would help him get his face actually back. So he was wandering around the corridors looking for a doctor. John Silver is the best kisser of
oh God, I
Order.
tweeted about that and he liked it. Talking about based John Silver. God, he's great.
I love when Matt came in with half a meal of what was it, Cracker Barrel? Yeah.
Thank you.
And they were just all fucking ruining him, and his brother was like, I want a singles push as merch freak and shit like that.
The Christopher Daniels bit with Dark Order. I've eaten all the vitamin pills. I'm gonna break the chains.
Can't break these cuffs.
The oil change was good. There was a couple of little jokes in there, like
a stooge to Meltzer.
Let it drain for 10 to 20 minutes or as long as an MJF promo was another one.
And then there was the best friends trying to murder Brandon at the end with the ropes they had across the corridor that was obviously not going to work, and it
Yeah.
didn't work. And then
Oh.
Trent just shouting, "I'll murder him with this pointy little man," was my favourite part of that segment. But yeah, it was quite fun being the Elite. It's getting more surreal and,
Yeah.
away from the
It's-
story.
Nah, it's going back to how it used to be,
I
like when
know, I
Cody
love
was
it.
possessed by Vince McMahon and
That
shit
was
like
my
that.
favourite arc of it all. I loved that the money that Silver made earlier was stolen, later in the show, was stolen by Stu Grayson to pay Anna Jay.
Yeah, you noticed that. I didn't, which is really actually quite good. They're putting a lot of effort into it. It's really picking.
Which I thought was a really good little bit of continuity. But other than that, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So, overall rank for being the Elite this week, what do you think? Is it an
Like a
A
bit.
being the Elite?
Hey, it could be. It's definitely high B. I don't have any bad points about it. Like we've skipped over a couple of bits which weren't that like massively intriguing. Yeah, possibly an A. It was really fun. It looks like they're having a laugh with it again.
Yeah, they look like they're having good fun with it. Dark Order segments may need more control, just keeping it down if it gets too much, but otherwise, solid.
Calm down, John Silver. Calm down.
Nah.
So, moving on from that, we move on to Dark Part 1. There were
Excalibur's
2 episodes
back.
of Dark this week. And as I was about to say, Excalibur back, so I'm guessing you're happy.
God,
Oh,
yeah.
I was so overjoyed. I heard him and I was like, yes. I think I watched it live when it
You were.
came out.
Oh,
11 a.m.
I think you've watched a lot of this live because your sleep schedule's completely ruined. So
I'm fine. I'm just gonna have some of this beer.
So, yeah, what did you think of Dark Part 1, as we shall refer to it?
Right, I've got notes, but my notes are all a little bit more shortened than last week's because we've got a fucking lot of wrestling to get through.
yeah, we do.
Horus versus Spears, another
It was a
obvious
Spears match.
Well, last week I said that it felt like the 100th match Spears match I'd seen. My note is this feels like the 101st Spears match I've seen. Fine, good. He's good in the ring. Great. Where's he going? Let's get this Tully arc for.
Yeah, let's get something happening now. I'm bored of seeing Sean Spears on Dark. Yeah.
Fabu versus Ryzen.
The best part of this was
Fabu and
Taz,
Ryzen versus Proud and Powerful.
was Taz doing the barking was the best part of this match.
Oh god, I fucking laughed so much.
Oh, I love this part where it goes. That was brilliant.
Taz and Excalibur are so much better together because Taz would threaten Tony Schiavone and he'd like back off. Taz threatens Excalibur, but Excalibur gives him shit for being a dumbass, and it's great. I think they're going to keep Ryzen.
Yeah, I would. He's got a great gimmick.
I think he'd be a really good, entertaining mid-carder like in the 90s.
I think you need to push that gimmick forward, though. He needs some promos so that you can get that gimmick over.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
You can tell that he's like a rocker Satanist just by looking at
him.
But yeah.
No, I'm behind him. It was fine. I've seen Proud and the Powerful. I wrote P&P on my notes, so I get confused.
Yeah.
I've seen Proud and the Powerful do a bunch of good matches, and they're good. I could arguably do with a break from them, just so they can come back and I can appreciate how good they are.
Yeah.
We had Ali versus Golden. Oh no, we had the promo from Proud and the Powerful calling out best friends, and they were mean to see.
Still waiting for the Dark Order pop of coming to save Zoo from being.
Yeah, I hope so. It would be the fucking best thing. Ali versus Golden. I've got just the note of meh.
I've got Ali's becoming a bit weird. I'm not sure where she's going with this.
Morg?
It was all right. I'd say it was a standard C. It was an okay match. It wasn't anything particularly mind-blowing. I did like. I don't like the fact that Ali's still a heel. It doesn't work for me because of what Brandy's doing. I think we spoke about this yesterday when we were chatting. And I think that when Dustin did the eye rolling thing with QT, I appreciate that that's for us, so that when he doesn't take her jacket, I appreciate that's for us, but it really, I think it hurts the character more than anything else, because what's to stop QT from watching Dark this week and seeing you roll your eyes at him?
Bye.
Hey, you're not wrong. It just needs to go somewhere. I've got the basis now. They don't really get on. Let's do something.
Yeah, let's progress this story now. Come on, boys. Let's get back on track.
And getting back on track, Kaz versus Angelico. I've actually got notes on this.
We had the beat down by best friends.
Oh yeah, good.
That was solid. It was nice to see something actually happen on Dark that wasn't just a match. You know, we've had some promos and then we had a beat down. That was kind of cool.
It might be getting back to their old ways of actually making it a show.
Yeah, so Angelico and Taz, sorry.
Their styles didn't really go together that well, and I normally like Angelico, and I'm normally a big Kaz fan. I did note down that Angelico is Zack Sabre Jr. we have at home, which is a bit mean. But I'd watch
Sorry,
the
that really made me chuckle. Oh.
I appreciate a good, strong style submission thing, but mixing it with Lucha and it just didn't quite go with Kaz. But I don't know.
He's a traditional American wrestler, isn't he, at heart, you know?
It was all good, and it
was a bit styles clashy, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like, I can't say there was any part of it that was bad or botchy. I just felt it was a bit awkward. Anybody disagree?
Right. So
no, I thought it was
then
fine.
We had something to do with Brandy, according to my notes, because I just have, oh no, Brandy.
It was her calling out Anna Jay. It was good. God. It was her going, I've been pretty for a long time and it don't mean shit. It was a solid promo. I hoped it was going to be on Dynamite. Brandy's got good promo game.
She does. But do we need Anna Jay being squashed this early? Because, you know. Oh, well.
I'm going to be hopeful and say if they did do that, Anna Jay would win. But who knows?
So.
Who knows?
So. Jobbers versus Gun Club.
Obvious again.
Yeah.
Joey Janela too.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah, poor man's Macho Man, who's poor man's Joey Janela. It was very strange that. I like the Rembrandt talking in the middle of the match. He's a good artist.
Excalibur made the Pune joke from Pratchett again that Morg got the first time, so I noted that down for you, Morg.
Yeah. Yes, I noticed that again. I was pleased with.
You had to explain it to us the first time, so I was like, oh. The catapult neck breaker was badass. Yeah. That's mean. I can't read that out. There's you remember a couple of weeks back I said, does Chucky T have the best finisher in AEW because it's so quick and it looks effective?
Yeah.
What about Austin Gunn's quick draw hip toss neck breaker thing? Because I think it looks badass. I know a lot of people disagree with me.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of dislike for this move on the internet. I was just like, why do you dislike this move? It's kind of cool. It's something different, you know? So, yeah, I really like it. And it's quite snappy and it comes out of nowhere. So I really like it myself.
Realistic, short, and dad, because I hated the Judas effect and you guys had to sell it to me on realisticness.
Yeah, just
well, no, Muir had to sell it because I don't like it either.
Oh, yeah, that was it. So that's why I now have my scale of effective to
you know,
show
man
you.
Elbowing you in the face. You've got to accept it would
hurt. Otherwise, this match was fine. I want to see the Guns against better people. I really like the team. Austin may be the wanker face I've been waiting for.
Your whole life.
Yeah, I've just always wanted a face that's just lad from the pub. We've all got that mate who's just a dick and gets in fights, but he's a nice guy. That could be Austin Gunn, and Bill is just massive.
Yeah,
puts everybody over. He's great. More Guns, better matches. Tony, we know you listen.
Yeah, we know they're listening. So just give us a shout out.
Tom versus Danny Jordan.
Jordan's getting a bit more in shape.
Yeah, she's obviously been working on her build quite well, so that's very good for her.
Yes, not normally something I comment on, but there we are. Abaddon's strikes still need work. They're still a bit weak looking, but Jordan sells like a fucking boss.
No, she's really got it together because she was a bit well, not sloppy, but not 100% when she first came on. I think she was a bit too green at the start, but she's really pulling herself together down in Jordan. I was very impressed in her improvement in this match.
She's somebody else I'd like them to keep. And I also like the fact she actually used the burn book. Having the page about Abaddon was really good. So welcome to the part of our podcast where I gush about how awesome Abaddon is. This match was awesome for me. I really, really enjoyed it. Me and the Raptor both watched this. We thoroughly enjoyed this match. Mainly, a lot of it is Abaddon's character work. And just how good her no-selling, the little bits she does, the way she stalks around the ring. She doesn't break the character at all, even when she's being hit. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this match. This was an A for the Abaddon fan in me, and probably I think I would probably rank this as a B match because of the storytelling and work in it.
I have a criticism of it.
Oh, go on.
I don't know if I like Abaddon as like the more tactical submission sort of wrestler, because she did a lot more grabs, holds, limb work, and actual things I normally praise in a submission-y wrestler. Whereas I quite liked her as the high-speed blitz machine she was originally.
She just took someone down in like under 3 seconds, basically.
And when she was just an angry cannibal. Maybe I'll be won over. I was wrong about Hangman and the Dark Order and everything at the start.
Everything else that we got wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong about fucking everything.
Yes, mate. We all were.
Oh, the worry about that is the fact that you liked Abaddon when she first came out. I didn't mind that because I thought it made for a better, more interesting match. And I don't have a problem with her being like this monster that can take you down in multiple ways and actually having the submission. Go on.
I think that I preferred her as like a blitzing monster, but I think you can only play that so many times.
Yeah, you can only go so far. Yeah. You're right. Morg's a step ahead of us here, and we're all excited for Abaddon because it's fucking cool as shit.
And most importantly, she's on the rankings now.
Hey.
Boom. Donati Starks. I love Starks. Starks gives every fucking enemy their moment. He doesn't fucking batter anyone. It's a proper back and forth. He's beautiful. He's talented. He's got great charisma in the ring. It was the best match on the card for me thus far.
He's never going to be the best wrestler, but he is a great character, and I really enjoy seeing him. So it's good for me.
So, as you're owned by him, Strange, are we going to have to start instigating the best friends rule on Ricky Stark matches?
Yeah, I think that might be the new one to do. Bring me down a grade on Starks.
Having said that, I thought this was a really good match,
wasn't it? He just has good matches, and that's realistically what you want from your stars. And a bunch of squash matches, cool. The guy's number goes up and he looks harder. I don't give a shit. Starks beat the guy, but it was a wicked match. I've had a great time. I remember Starks.
It's the Ric Flair rule, and I'm sure I've mentioned it on the podcast before. If I haven't, then I will mention it now. But it's one of my old stuck. I'm sure it's one of my old stuck record tropes. The reason that Ric Flair is generally regarded as the greatest of all time is because he always made his opponent look good. So when he won, it looked like he'd actually beaten somebody.
Yeah,
and Ricky Starks has got that the Ric Flair, the Shawn Michaels thing. He understands that you sell for the guy, you make the other guy look strong, and then you look like you've actually beaten someone, not just some schmuck from down the pub.
But I think we all agree Starks is great. Jurassic Express versus the Jobbers. I'm happy calling them the Jobbers for once, but now I know that John Cruz is also Serpentico. But I do I really like him as his comedy, like semi-face jobber role he was playing. He probably looked scared and rolled about, and he's really good. He was genuinely funny and good. I think I prefer him to Serpentico, not to criticize Serpentico, which is obviously going to be his main gimmick. Dinosaur should not speak to the camera. He's not ready. I'm sorry, boys.
He loses a lot of mystique just from talking to the camera, I always think.
Yeah. Otherwise, solid. It was obvious who was going to win, but it was a solid match. I was genuinely entertained, mostly by John Cruz interacting with Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy's great, obviously. Just good, I think.
To your point about not talking to the camera, even the Raptor, who absolutely loves Luchasaurus, said no, don't talk to the camera. Even she, who loved it, no.
He stopped Dean.
You're not John Cena. That I always associate that with John Cena. It's a kind of a John Cena thing, and John Cena used to be very good at it, and other people aren't.
No, you've got to have a certain something, and unfortunately, Dean does not have it.
He has the look, he has the size, he has the mobility. Work with those. Someone else can talk for you, lad.
His moonsaults have got really good. More on that tomorrow.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, to me, that's the thing in Jurassic Express. I feel that Marco is the one who should talk. I think Marco is probably the better talker. I think he's probably the better talker when he's not being the overhyped sugar-addled. Because you see him being a bit more of himself with Sammy Guevara, and Marco's actually got charisma.
Yeah. I like him on Sammy's podcast. I just don't like him as this sugar-rushed idiot that can somehow beat everyone.
Yeah, so I think you calm him down a bit, and you could actually make him the talker for that group. We don't see Jungle Boy talk enough, and so I'm not sure whether he's not a good talker.
He's too busy being sexy.
Yeah, I think that's.
He winked at the camera on the count of 3. Boy knows what he's doing.
Teen heartthrob, Jungle Boy.
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Next one was
a match we should be angry about.
Anna Jay versus the Cake.
Yep.
Red Velvet, I'm fucking in love with her. She is a phenomenal wrestler. She's got herself over with me. Her character is great. She's got her own music, and it's pretty cool.
Yep.
Her strikes are great. It was a good match. Like, Anna Jay, we know is good.
I think this match is really good because I think it shows how good Red Velvet was, because she's carrying Anna Jay. As much as we like Anna Jay, she's had like 10 matches, so, you know, she ain't that experienced. But I think it was a really good match, and I still don't understand why they don't use Red Velvet more. It really confuses me.
There was only... Well, go on, Morg.
I was going to say, it's just because she's come in as one of these extra talents over the COVID time, but...
Yeah, but they used Cone Girl in the tournament when they could have used Red Velvet.
Yeah, and I also think that it's time to stop making... I think it's time to move Red Velvet over to the proper babyface team. Team her up with Shida or one of the other faces. I think it's time to start doing that now.
It's time to start using some of your talent, basically.
Yeah, I think she's another one. I'm really hoping that we get a thing soon that says Red Velvet is all in.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Red Velvet and Jordan on the show. I think Abaddon's almost there, but I would keep her off until she's perfect. Basically.
You want that 98 Kane experience when she turns up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to waste her.
The problem is, I think you've got to get her onto Dynamite, and you need to get her some wins on Dynamite so people know who she is.
You need her to just appear one day on Dynamite and just smash someone with a big
Do
name.
one ace moment. Yeah. Doesn't need to even be a match. Can just fucking deck someone.
Deck someone with a name.
Going back to the Abaddon thing, and this is the problem: is do you use her against a babyface, which is the obvious one, or do
use
you
her to crush a heel?
Because wrestling fans get behind a goth gimmick or a horror gimmick. They get behind those. Taker is obviously the standout for this, but generally those type of characters weirdly work better as a baby face. It's my whole monster face thing. So do you have her come out to somebody like Penelope?
They need to put her in the rafters for at least a year.
Stang.
But yeah, do you have her come out on someone like Penelope?
Yes, I would have her crush her heel.
Yeah, so you would make her, because she was virtually a baby face, because she went to what's the name that she went up against is normally a heel with the burn book. That's
Danny Jordan.
Danny Jordan, the mean girl, is definitely a heel gimmick. So yeah, do you think that? But anyway, yes, back to the match we were talking about, and of course you've got Anna Jay with the Dark Order. I think
Um,
Anna Jay's just a prodigy. As good as Red Velvet is, I think they're both good. I think Anna Jay just gets it.
She definitely gets wrestling. She
I
definitely
don't
gets
know
it.
if I'm down with the rear naked choke as a finisher because I think it's a bit dull, if I'm honest.
I think it's just because they're getting over it because it's the move she used on Brandy. I
I know.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it's a bit dull.
Give her 3 months in this feud, then she can lose to Brandy on a pay-per-view, then she can come back with a cool finisher, mate.
Nightmare people, right?
Yeah.
It was good. Watch that match.
Watch that match.
Dean
Kip
versus
Dean.
Kip, and Kip with his mission to make crop tops for men. I think again.
I love it. I love Taz burying him, saying he didn't even have abs. Why is he doing this? That was my favourite part.
It was just a good match, obviously. Dean's great, Kip's great and entertaining. I've just had a good time, and I agree with Kip. He does deserve to be on more main stream TV.
I have very little to say about this. Dean should be used more. I think he's great. I like his very basically outlined gimmick of army man. Well, Navy man, but you know what I mean.
It's all you need.
Yeah.
Realistically. Fucking Lucha Underground had a kill shot, and we go on about that all the time. And his thing was, I am army man. I was in army.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% behind it. I just think they could use both of these lads better.
Yeah. Solid Morg?
Yeah, it's a Kip match. I have made the decision this week. I'm sure I mentioned it to you guys over that my favourite heels are. I have now decided on my favourite heels in AEW, and it's Kip and Penelope.
They are great fun together.
They're fun together. They're actually likable heels. They don't piss me off in the wrong way. They piss me off in the right way, and I just enjoy them. It does worry me that possibly they are on the verge of the point where I'm going, I really want you two to turn face and just be obnoxious faces.
He's got that Mundo power. He's got a bit of John Hennig. Kip is capable of turning that gimmick face or heel, and he doesn't lose any of the character.
No, he could do whatever the fuck he wants with that. You're 100% right there. So, Initiative versus Private Party, I'm guessing, from this PP that I've got written down?
Eva Bates came out with 4th edition. Bad choice, Leva. Bad choice.
I've noticed she's been
working with the editions.
Yeah.
Because
she had 5th later on.
Solid match. Avalon's real good. Did he get poop on him? I know wrestlers sometimes poop in the ring, and he had a big smear on his face for a bit.
I didn't notice this, but okay, maybe.
He had a smear up on his upper right forehead, and I was like, is that poop? Because wrestlers pooping in the ring is a thing. I mean, it's gross, but it happens.
Could have been Brandon's face paint.
Could have been Brandon's face paint. Okay, we'll go with that.
Let's hope it's that for his sake.
It was a good match, but I didn't care. And then the betrayal came, and it gave me a bit of intrigue. I was intrigued by the ending, but I knew they were going to... I need something to happen with them, and something has happened with them. It's also something that's happened before, where they fought for who's not the loser. So unless one of them wins in the next one...
But strange, we could get Brandon!
Brandon! It was fucking fabulous.
But yeah, no, they need to get them on a pay-per-view and get them one of them to win. That's what you need to do.
I think...
Morg?
So I was just at that moment, just before the turn, was saying, I'm really hoping they don't go down the obvious route and have them split, and because they're such a good tag team, and they've been
great, aren't they?
It's all been pitched very much about what a good tag team they are. I think that the commentators have been hammering. I don't think they've been hammering enough in the sort of saying they should have been behind them, and instead of going, oh, it's a polyhedral die, get on with I don't get how these guys aren't getting a win. They do everything right. They just and make them the bad luck team. You could have done the split further down. I really think you could have pushed them up. You could have sent them in, and then you could have just put them on a killing winning streak, and they could have been defeated by the champions at the end. I think the way that the Young Bucks are acting at the minute, it would have been the perfect way to do it. Could have had them beat the Bucks.
Had them as the loser, plucky underdog little league team that gets through to the finals, but then gets beaten by the named corporate team that beats them.
You could have had them do and go over the Bucks, which would have, I think, worked well into the Bucks storyline at the minute as well. because you could, yeah. Other things have happened in the interviews. Is Lever going to be able to get them back on the same page? That's the big thing, because Lever has been great. So maybe we'll see that. Maybe they'll have the match and then one of them will win and that'll be it, and they'll get back to being a team. I do think it's a real shame that you've split this team up so quick. Maybe the t-shirt sales weren't that good.
Could be. Yeah, we'll have to see where it goes. Well, we're going to get this match. I think I'd rather see them as a tag team again. I think they were kind of cool together. If they're doing the D&D thing, all Brandon has to accept is that he's got a rogue in his team and he's a paladin. And this is fucking ultra nerd talk. He's a paladin. He's got a fucking rogue. Let him do roguish things. It's a base acceptance of role-playing, and his gimmick is role-playing. I've leave her explain it like that. Now she's worked through all 5 editions of D&D.
Nah, they should just stick to 4th edition. Get that dungeon crawling going, boys.
I will backhand you into the sun.
I will reach through the computer. And
can't touch me. Right, so what do we think of this Dark anyway? I thought it was all right overall.
It was good overall. If I was going to say watch some matches, I'd say possibly watch the Guns just because they're entertaining. Watch Jordan Abaddon because it's the future. Watch Starks because he's great. Watch Anna Jay versus Red Velvet.
Yeah, I'd say so. The women's matches were the standouts for this one, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. I would also say watch the Initiative because it had a storyline built into it.
Yeah, fair call. Watch it for the storyline. Just
whether we like it or not, it actually had a storyline.
At least it was some sort of progression of something.
Yeah.
More on that in Dark too.
Electric Boogaloo.
So moving over now, so we're not going to go on to Dynamite. We'll save that till the end because that's the main show. On Friday they did an extra special edition of Dark to give us even more wrestling in this week that they've got a pay-per-view.
Thanks, guys.
I'm glad I don't watch WWE anymore at the moment.
Don't worry, I've got Stardom to catch up with after this.
So moving on, we had Dark 2 on Friday. Oh, sorry, Dark 1. So what's our overall score? Are we giving it B, C?
I think there's a lot of B matches, but I think if you watch the whole thing, it's a C. If you just watch our highlighted matches, it's probably a B. Because there was a lot of cool, this match is happening, as opposed to,
If they trimmed the fat on this and it would have been like a lean 90 minutes, I think it would have been a B, maybe an A show, but it's a C for me just because there's a bit of drag along the way.
Yeah. Okay. So Dark 2. What did you think of Dark 2 and scores for matches, and more importantly, the overall score?
My notes are a little more concise on this one. I'll be honest. I was a little tired of wrestling. We started with Jobbers versus the Butcher and the Blade. Which Jobbers were they, Muir?
Fabu and D3 / Roma, however he wants to be called at the moment. I really like this match.
Yeah, it was solid. It was a solid squash. D3 sells like a fucking champ.
He sold great for the Butcher, made the Butcher look great as well. That's what I like to see, And Full Death's cool. It was a solid enough match. That's all I got to say about it.
You got anything additional, Morg?
Yeah, it was a good match. It was all right. It was Butcher and the Blade.
They've really turned around.
Yeah, they have turned around. They have so
million
pleased.
plus viewers. Chad's Butcher and Blade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we crossed 1 million this week again, didn't we? We contributed. We know you listen, Tony.
Come on, team, we can do this.
Tony, I need a house. Yeah. They have really turned around, and
it was a solid match. But again, my top note of all of this second Dark is, why did we need this? This is, So then we move on to Ali versus Red Velvet with Brandy on commentary. Oof.
Did anybody come out of this looking good other than possibly Red Velvet?
So why is it that Brandy cuts a promo and she's brilliant?
Yep.
Brandy goes on commentary. It's the same thing. She's talking, and I know we joked about this the other day, and you said that it was preparation. But Brandy on a shot of brandy comes across as charismatic and funny and genuine. It's one of the reasons me and the Raptor actually like Brandy, because she comes across. Why can't she do commentary at all?
Just buried these two lasses. She
Right.
properly just went after
Terrible
her.
on commentary.
She buried her
Remember
old tag
last
team partner.
week?
She buried Red Velvet. It's like, you do realise commentary's meant to, like, help them be more stars, right? Even
Be more
Jericho, when
Jericho.
he's slagging you off, he's like, oh, but he's real good at this, and it angers me so much, sort of thing. It just, I don't know.
You remember I said last week that Mox is good until he over-explains what he's doing. Like, he's got his point of, I can be creative, and then he's like, I can bend you left and bend you right.
And then he just loses it.
Yeah. That's Brandy's problem. She's got her points to make of, be a bit more, be critical, say you're the effective one, etc. She's only got those 4 points. She's not prepared for the entire fucking thing. It's a bad muster. It's a bad muster. So yeah, she didn't have enough going. It just take some notes, have some notes there, make some other points. Yeah.
And Ali really needs some more moves. As much as I like Red Velvet in this, I think it showed some weakness in Ali because she has very few moves, mostly just clotheslining people, and it's a bit dull to watch. I don't know. What do you think, Morg?
It was all right. Brandy distracted too much for me. It was actually too much distraction that I couldn't get into the match.
Get into the match, yeah.
I like Red Velvet. I like Ali. But yeah, it didn't grab me and make me go, yes, this is the future of your women's division is a lot of the girls you've had on Dark being jobbed out.
You need to build them now.
If
you're bringing them onto them, if you're bringing them up.
Well, the thing is, no, that's the thing. You need to bring them up.
Yeah.
Your division is so weak, you had to go and get the NWA champion for your champion to have someone to face who wasn't Nyla Rose.
What if some of these jobbers beat each other and then they had base numbers?
Oh, that'd be really good.
Hey, no, don't go that far. Just need.
Well,
it's too far.
We have seen that because they have moved. The problem is they've only moved one of them up, and they've moved Abaddon is the only one they've moved up, and they need to move at least another couple up. And one of them I would move up is Red Velvet.
What needs to happen is Tony to go to his dad and just go, please, Dad, can you buy me some Joshi promotions, and then we'll be fine.
I mean, I did discover that Thunder Rosa started in Stardom.
Yeah.
More on that later.
Anyway, but yes, otherwise, just need to build these lasses up, get them some matches against each other, show us who's got the power ratings, and get them on the main show. Build your division.
Yeah, I mean, we've
moving on.
Go on.
No, not. I was going to say, let's get to the next bit, because we've been very angry about the women's wrestling here.
Well, I was just about to say that what we've been angry about most of the time is the main event women's wrestling, and a lot of your undercard women's wrestling and your dark women's wrestling we've really liked. So yeah, I think that just sums a lot of it up.
I'm not angry.
Yeah, so moving on, Mr. Strange, carry on.
Colt Cabana versus Clayton. What a weird match. It just sort of stopped and started to make angry Colt.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but it wasn't really a good match. I can't really say. And I've praised Colt in the past. I enjoy his comedy edge, and taking his comedy edge off him kind of
it hurts him.
Points. Yeah.
I think it's all leading to Colt versus Brody.
Yeah,
I think we're looking at a long-term story here now. I can see where it's going, and it's starting to see it now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
More on that later.
More on that later. Avalon promo. He's good. Cool. Wicked. He's angry.
Leave us up to Fifth Ed.
We have to go back. That robbed into Jobbers versus the Lucha Bros. Solid match. We knew what was going to happen. Once again, I think Ryzen's great, and I hope they keep him and give him a push in his own little weird metal way.
My favourite was the comment from I don't know which commentator it was, but someone when Phoenix was going up for a move and he goes, "Oh, geez, what's he gonna do now?" It just made me laugh because it's just like, yeah, what is Phoenix gonna do now? Anyway, we can move on
The
now.
flippiest man. Yeah, it was fine.
Solid match.
You anything, Morg? You anything?
It was the Lucha Brothers. I like the Lucha Brothers. I'm not into them against jobbers. I'm not overly into them as kind of like the mid card tag team. I think it's time to split the Lucha Brothers up and give us Pentagon and Phoenix. Give us babyface Flippy Phoenix and give us bad. And you know what you know where I'm coming from here.
Yeah.
Give us
his fucking best.
Give us proper anti-hero. Give us Stone Cold Phoenix. Stone Cold Pentagon.
It's what he was best
which
at.
is what he was best at, being an absolute. Bring back the arm breaker and everything.
Yeah, you've got enough jobbers to break a few arms.
Yeah, fair.
In fact, you're going to need to start getting rid of some of them soon because you're getting some of your other wrestlers
the perfect
back.
time to do it. Yeah.
So
cancel them via. Yeah, no, that'd be perfect.
Fantasy booking for the future. How I will book the Lucha Brothers individually.
Kylan King versus. Oh no, sorry, we got Kingston promo, didn't we?
He's good.
Yeah.
They're not a strong faction. He's manipulating them. More on that in the future. It was good.
Yeah, solid.
Eddie doing Eddie things, solid. He's not quite got a full groove yet, but he's on his way. Nobody disagrees. Cool.
No, carry on. So Kylan King versus Evilise.
A second good women's match.
Yeah. I think one of my favourite bits of this was Kylan King dancing to Evilise's music. She's coming in like she's just having a good time being there. That just made me laugh. I really enjoyed
I'm a Kylan King fan. I am on board with it. Evilise cares. She had a ring gear on this time. That was nice.
It was great.
The Code Red didn't go. I did fucking quotation marks with my fingers. You guys can't see it. The Code Red, the Canadian Destroyer, slightly different. Didn't go as smoothly as it could, but then again, Kylan King is like a foot taller than Evilise, so
kind of feel for her there when she's trying to do that. The swing DDT was quite good though. I know it's not Trent's, but it was good.
She did a scorpion kick, and they didn't show it on the camera properly. I was grumpy.
Yeah, fair. I didn't catch that. Sorry.
I missed
grumpy.
that. So, rightful rage, rightful anger from the Muir there, from the Morg there, the other one.
I'm a big Evilise fan. She will very soon be my favourite women's wrestler in AEW again, as she was my favourite women's wrestler in Lucha Underground. I'm a bit of a sucker for Evilise. She's another one of my favorite women's wrestlers, the ones that got me into watching women's wrestling, because it was around about the time we were watching Lucha Underground and her that I was watching the great stuff on NXT, sort of around that sort of era. I really enjoyed this match. It was nice to see Evie caring, and I think I'm going to say, hopefully, just brushing off the ring rust, which is what I'm hoping the earlier bits were, that it wasn't so much.
Not her actually trying to be awkward, her just having a bit of issues from not wrestling for how long. Yeah.
So good. Watch it.
Versus Bullock versus Seven.
I just wrote down Jobbers versus Beaver Boys.
Yeah, it was Seven versus Dean and Bullock. Bullock looks really awkward.
Yes.
I was really hoping for them to give Dean a win here. I don't know why, but I love the Beaver Boys, but I was just hoping that Dean just got a win.
I don't understand why you're giving the Dark Order jobbers. I mean, I love them, and this was a good match, and they're great, but the Dark Order jobbers wins just to take them off them instantly with more named characters, basically.
Yeah, why bother? But this is just the issue of the sports feel.
It would also work better in your other stories if the Beaver Boys had lost to the two jobbers and you had given the two jobbers their first wins, because then you could have Brody Lee being a dick to losing his shit at them, which is all part of their thing.
Otherwise, the match was solid. The flapjack uppercut the Beaver Boys do. It's better than their double jump DDT thing. I don't like that finisher. It looks weird. But yeah, otherwise good. I mean, I love Silver and Reynolds.
Match is just in the story side that upset me, but I like the match. So yeah, it was solid.
Brandon's counter promo to Avalon. Brandon's not as good as Avalon.
He's
on
not
the
good on
promo.
the mic, is he? Poor lad.
Needy
He's trying.
He's really good in the ring, and he's a nice guy, but his
He
promo
ain't got
game,
that promo game now.
you can tell there's no aggression in him.
Yeah.
Basically. Love,
Yeah,
which is,
I wonder if he would be a better heel promo than a face promo. That is the thing I would like to see, just to see him cut a heel promo. He's just not a very good face promo, and certainly not to counteract such a good Avalon strong heel promo. And Avalon's promo was so good it could have been a babyface promo in the respects of I'm that good. Yeah, he didn't have that.
But yeah, anyway.
go on, Muir.
Luther versus Darby then?
Is Luther getting better, or is it me? Was Luther actually good in this?
I don't understand this match at all. Like,
I
what
really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, but what was the point? Is my issue with it.
A risky match to have before a pay-per-view, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Darby throws himself off things. We know that's a thing. I think someone like Luther was a good opponent for him. You got to see Luther's more destructive side, and it sold Darby better than anything else. And this is how you do a match with jobbers with someone like Darby. I thought this was a perfect match for him to have against someone who's a jobber, inverted commas, in Luther, because Luther came out looking strong because he had destroyed Darby, but Darby is Darby, and you're not going to stop him. Watch out, Cage and Ricky Starks. It doesn't matter what you do to him. More on that tomorrow. It doesn't matter what you do to him. He's just going to keep fucking coming. He is. I've said it before, and I will say it again. He has got the Jeff Hardy, and they've even given him now the Jeff Hardy abilities, if that makes sense. He's not just got that physical charisma that Jeff Hardy has. He's got the Jeff Hardy ability of, you've beaten me down. Yeah, but I just don't stay down.
Wear some fucking knee pads and make me a lot happier while watching matches.
Yeah. Fucking, but yeah.
Good match.
It was solid. I just don't see why they would risk them before the,
it seemed weird. Luther's shrieking still makes me laugh.
Oh, he's hilarious, but
I was satisfied. It was fine.
So 15 versus the Nightmare People?
5 and 10 versus the Nightmare People. 5's got a coat.
I liked his hoodie. I'm not going to lie. Like, I know we rate NJPW coats normally, but I thought that was quite good. I like that he's getting a bit of a character, which I think he's doing well with.
I'll work out the coat tier list at some point.
I was sad he didn't come out with the hair.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been beautiful. You're not wrong. But yeah.
I expected an Uber squash. Then QT ate a load of shit, if I recall.
It was a Uber squash for the start of it. Then 10 got the upper hand versus...
10's dropping times.
Yeah.
That was the best line of the commentary.
Yeah, he got some upper hand against QT. Then they just fucking got annihilated because it's the Nightmare People and they're indestructible.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I just don't think we needed it.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the Nightmare People beat every single person in the Dark Order.
You do. Because that's what you're getting.
You'd have to be really jaded to predict something like that happening continuously.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, you would.
Okay. Anyway, so it was all right. This Dark was all right overall. It's solid to see, in my opinion, but it just, it dragged.
Wasn't needed.
Yeah, it just dragged on me.
Having
to watch it. I didn't need another hour of wrestling.
Yeah, I had to watch it the morning before you guys came over to watch All Out. So, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it was another C.
It was just a bit fatiguing.
If I was watching another show and they went on Fridays, is 2 hours of more story and more characters and we'll see things going, and not watch this extra hour and a half of YouTube where people you know are going to lose to people you know are going to win, I'd care a lot more.
If shocking new revelations will come out this Friday at blah, 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 then you'd be actually interested. But no, it's just jobber matches, so I just don't care. Sorry.
So moving on to Dynamite.
I think I'm going to sue Tony Khan because I'm sick of seeing Pac in this starting animation. I'm sick of this false advertisement that they're doing towards me.
Mid-show rant of the day.
No.
We all miss Pac. We all miss Pac.
Anyway, yeah, let's carry on.
So Dynamite kicked off. JR, Schiavone, Excalibur on commentary. We started off with Proud and Powerful versus Best Friends. Proud and Powerful win after hitting the Street Sweeper and having used a baton. What do you think of the match? What score did you give it?
Excalibur really does help make a best friends match. He is
Very
the third man in the ring for them. I've got to say it because I really enjoyed this match just because of Excalibur being there as well.
He's basically part of their stable.
Yeah.
The Chuck E. T spending like 5 minutes setting up chairs was a bit weird just to get fucking executed, basically.
It was such a meta look at wrestling though, because that's like every fucking spot is like, I'm gonna set this up and then just get nailed by it. So I was happy when I saw that.
I have missed Chuck's Falcon Arrow, and it was great to have. Wasn't the best match. It was good. It was fine. There were a couple of cool moments.
The only issue I have is every single match the best friends seem to have at the moment is Chucky's fucked. Trent has to go all the way. I'd like to see a bit more Chucky, but that's me.
We know he can do cool things.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of good matches. But it was good. It just wasn't anything beyond good, basically. Yeah. But there we are.
Score?
See, fine. Like I had a good time. I wasn't like blown away. I should remember the score things.
I
too much
remember the thing we do this for.
So that's interesting because I gave it a C/B. I had it in the upper tiers of a C.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I thought this was a really good match. But not a really good match. I thought it was an over what we would class as acceptable.
Oh, God, I've gone the other way on a best friends match. Things have changed. Ricky Starks has ruined me.
God damn it. We've got to get him back, get your soul back from him and give it back to Chuck.
What are you giving him, Muir? What's your rank?
I gave it a C, mate. I was not that involved with it. Like, because I've seen the match of Trent carrying the match versus everybody because Chuck's injured. I'm just a bit bored of that. I'd like to see, something different told, basically.
Yeah, fair.
So there we go.
I'm having to remember matches backwards. I've seen too much wrestling.
Yes, mate. So much. The issue.
After that, we had an MJF promo. It's an MJF promo. Any particular thoughts?
Yeah. No.
If this is your first time listening to this, I will state we generally rate a heel promo by MJF and a babyface promo by Mox, or we will rate them by Jericho and Cody, respectively. We do give a rank.
You don't really comment.
Yeah, we give a rank to an exceptional promo, but the thing is that those four people
they're always promos.
Yeah. We will only ever call them out if they're particularly bad.
They slip up or fuck something up,
or they do something new or different.
We're like, oh, it was like MJF, good heel, go MJF, do heel.
Yeah. So after that, we had SCU and Private Party versus the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express with Marco. The winners of this match would have a match against each other on the pay-per-view. The Young Bucks win by pinfall. What do you think of the match? What score did you give it?
Good match. Dean once again should not speak to Dinosaur. Luchasaurus should not speak to the camera. The Bucks entrance with a bit of storytelling, them just like not celebrating was cool.
I like that a lot. I like that they just came straight out for business sort of thing. I thought that was really good.
I did laugh at the setup sign that Matt tore in half because there was literally no other ringside fans.
There was just this one lad.
One fan and a bunch of wrestlers. I'm real, okay. Of course you are. The Private Party Flapjack Facebuster was fucking wicked.
Yes,
and really
mate,
fluid.
wasn't it?
And every time a flapjack happens, I get excited. And seeing as the move is basically lift man over shoulder and fall backwards, and I'm pretty sure I've done that drunkenly to mates by accident. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy ate a lot of shit in the break. He went on for a bit. We did get a lot of different section of Luchasaurus moves, though. He's learned a lot of different sequences. His moonsaults were completely smooth. He didn't stand doing like the double check, which you can't really fault
Really
realistically.
fault this match, no. It was
Jungle Boy is entering Trent/Pentagon levels of hit points, though. He's really getting up there. But yeah, I had a good time. I gave this match a B. I thought it was actually really good. The 8-man tags, which I originally shit on long ago, have only impressed me.
They are doing a lot better with them. Like, I really like their 8-man tags, and I think they're a good way to start stories. I like the NJPW feel of it, and it was really good. Yeah, I had a B myself.
It's B's across the board. I really enjoyed this match. I want to give a special shout out because I know we criticise JR a lot, but I particularly want to shout out to the thing I did like was JR calling out why it was important to win this match and get the match on the pay-per-view, so you get a pay-per-view payday.
No,
I liked that. That's the kind of work I want from my commentators. I want them to explain why things that don't seem to make sense should make sense.
You need from JR these days is put him right on the end and give him one sentence each match where he goes, "Oh, this reminds me of a time, back in the 70s."
Ah, God, he's broken in half.
Yeah, exactly. He comes out with one catchphrase or one cool story from the olden days regarding this match. Don't have him on full commentary. Just have him sitting on the end and give him one line.
Or have him as the guy who covers things like the reasons why things that don't... Because unfortunately, he sometimes is the guy who calls out the thing that doesn't make sense. When he's actually very good at making the thing that doesn't make sense make sense. So this was one of those moments when I harkened back to the old JR.
Yeah. And we love old JR.
Yeah. So after that, we had a quick Hager and Cassidy. I put it down as a promo. It was just a little segment. Basically, Hager telling Cassidy that you've got to turn up to ringside. I'm not going to give it a ranking.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So this was quite a promo heavy.
Yeah.
Dynamite, which it would be because leading into a pay-per-view. And then they gave us another Day of Dark. FTR and Tully promo. I thought it was fine.
Free. Yeah, fine. There was a production value sound thing at the start. I shouted about that recently. It was fine. They're on their way to 4, but they are currently apparently 3, but we don't know who 3 is. Yeah, we need this powered up, hopefully on Dynamite this week.
I'm guessing Sean's the 3rd one, or they're just kicking him out, seeing as Tully's been with him for so long now. I don't know.
I think they're booking Sean. I think they're booking Sean too strong. I think Sean is too obviously one of the 4 now. But after that, we had the Kenny Omega in ring promo. Thoughts?
I liked it.
He came out in a Hana Kimura shirt, which is
good.
Which is being sold for charity for her family. She's the Stardom who killed herself. So that's really good. And if you are a person who listens, who likes Stardom, all the money goes to her family, so buy that shirt. I enjoyed this, Kenny. It made me laugh. Dickhead hillbillies made me laugh.
Yeah.
Being meta and weird. Then we got some Hangman drama. Old FTR went on for a bit. Possibly could have been a bit shorter.
FTR. Oh no, we need the chart. I don't remember which one's which.
I don't know if that. Cash?
I'm going with Dax. So one of us is right.
Cash has hair, Dax has no hair, I think.
Fantastic.
Shit.
They've actually got their names on their trunks.
Lies.
I am literally Googling it.
Anyway, let's carry on. Yeah, it was solid. I enjoyed this enough, but I like Kenny just standing up for himself, just being like, yeah, if you want to try and beat me up, let's go for it, I enjoyed it. It was solid.
Man, we're getting the Kenny that the internet wants that they think is the cleaner. Oh no, I've typed in Cash Wheeler and it's brought both of them up.
Of course it has. Nobody knows which one's which.
Fuck my life. Cash seems to be the one with hair.
Okay.
Cash is hair. Dax went on a bit. That was my only criticism, but it was good otherwise.
Yeah.
I think Dax is normally the better promo. Following on from that, we had a Jericho promo. It's a Jericho promo.
Sound quality, production values at the start.
Who needs them?
Oh, I missed that. I didn't notice the bad sound quality on that.
Maybe it's just me being extra judgmental. Maybe I've picked up on it after my rant the other week. So maybe Joey's the next feud?
Yeah, maybe.
Rotating through the mid-carders, that's what Jericho likes to do, embiggening them.
So following on from that, we had Jerry Janela versus Chris Jericho. Jericho wins by submission in an incredibly short, effectively squash match. What did you guys think, and what score did you give it?
I'm going to just read through my 3 lines of notes verbatim.
I have 1, so you did better than me, mate.
I thought Joey was higher tier than this.
Yep.
Really? Meh. Fine, I suppose.
Squash.
Yeah, wasn't good.
No, D for me. Sorry. Boring. Didn't care. No need for it. Made Joey look worse.
As a match, I gave it a D. If you look at it as a segment, possibly a C, but there wasn't enough segment in it. There was bits with Jericho and Cassidy. I liked the blood on the Orange Cassidy on the t-shirt. But yeah, for the first time, I think in AEW, I've just given Jericho a D on a match.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. That is Jericho's first D. At Jericho. But it won't be his last.
So moving on, so we had a Team Taz promo about the Battle Royal. Then I think
it went very WCW for a minute.
Then Jake and Lance come out. Then out comes Kingston. It turns into a massive.
Everybody comes out, and then
massive
it's real
argument.
WWE/WCW bollocks.
Everyone runs in. What did you think of the segment? I hated it.
I'm going to comment on some things we've missed after this.
Okay.
I've got a bunch of notes on this, it would seem. My first note is Team Taz music bad. So, Taz fucked up. He said, if you don't realize that Ricky Starks is not going to destroy you, and that made me laugh. Ricky Starks is not going to destroy you. Cool, mate. Jake said, bust a nut.
Can't Jake Hager gonna bust a nut? Please stop this.
Eddie saying the King's speaker made me laugh. I think Eddie sort of brought it back for a moment. Eddie sort of leveled it out.
He sort of got it back on track, and then it just went.
I wanted more. If more people would have kept coming out, I'd have laughed even more.
What if it just got to like 60 people in that area? Just
one team at a time, just fucking coming out. There were people in that ring I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, now Proud and the Powerful and Hager will be jumped by the best friends. Lance has got to stop saying everybody dies. He needs a second line.
So lame.
Fucking Austin Gunn tripped in the ropes and landed on his face. There was just loads of mistakes. I didn't hate it because I was laughing.
It was bad. You have to admit it was bad. Surely.
I had a good time. I enjoyed it.
I just thought it was a fucking mess.
Darby Allin came out and beat up Ricky Starks and started fighting him, and everybody just watched as they fought to the outside.
Every time!
It's because they know it's going to be a really good match when we eventually have it. I mean, that's the problem there.
Why does everybody abandon poor Ricky Starks? He gets beaten up every segment.
E3 was in that ring and flew out of it. The fucking jobber from... It was great. I'm giving it a C. Fuck you, boys.
I wasn't into this whole heels all shouting at each other. I think we've got too many heel stables, and if we're going the way I think we're going with, I think if we're going the way I think we're going with the Elite, we're going to cause a lot of problems. I think it would have been better if I'd have booked it. I would have had the first bit, then I would have possibly have had the second bit to carry on from last week with Jake Snake. Then I would probably have had the Inner Circle come out, the 3 of them. Then you could have had Best Friends come out, and that would have helped just take the edge off it being such a bunch of 3 heels just shouting at each other, and then
more people, more heels.
So right,
I think we need to see where this is going to go because
Yeah.
we've had the Age of Faces and we complained like bitches about the Age of Faces.
And now we've got Age of Heels appearing, so we shouldn't.
And if we're having heel rumble to establish who the top heel will be, and more on that tomorrow, then this is a fine build up to that. It could probably have been done in less of a dorky way. Am I giving it a D, boys? Am I the only person above a D?
Oh, it was bollocks, but I was giving it a C. Like, 10 years ago, I would have given this an S. Because I'd be like, whoa, where did it go? But now it's a bit, it's a bit bollocks, ain't it?
Right, before we move on past this, unless you've got more to say on it, Morg.
No.
I'm going to jump back to between this on the break. We had two moments. We had the Sammy montage of the match.
Yes.
Yep.
Which I honestly, my first comment is, at least I finally got to see the match. I saw more moments of that match on that little montage than I saw watching the match.
Yeah, fair.
But though it was set to somebody's new metal fucking top 10 WWE moves music.
Oh, God, 2004.
But then we had Sammy doing his signs, and it was so badly timed because it kept going up to Matt Hardy, who was watching, and obviously it was meant to be Sammy finish his signs. It looks like Matt Hardy's watching him.
Yeah.
Then reveals his signs.
Yeah.
But it kept like looking up at him and looking back down. They're like, Sammy, you've got more time, and he kept going. And for an old WWE reference, it might be Dubsy Dub. When it panned up to Matt Hardy, I was like, "That's the wall, brother."
It's WCW, yeah. It's the wall, brother. Yeah, so good. Oh, it was awful. Why are they like this?
Break moment was not good, but now we can go back to
why do they have millions of pounds and they can't do like some simplest shit right?
They can do complex fucking giant falls and shit. Can you just time the cameraman? No. Here's your match. Sorry, Morg.
Evie's scorpion kick was not shown.
Yeah, there we go. Right, Morg, you can take control back now.
Next from that, we had a Dark Order video promo. What did you think? Any particular thoughts?
I have one note, and it's I didn't find this badass, so I don't know if anybody can build it up from my commentary.
Not here. Nothing here, boys. I don't even remember this.
Oh boy. Morg?
I've just got Dark Order video promo.
Okay. It must have been that riveting.
Swiftly on.
Yeah.
So next after that, we had Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. Rosa wins with the Thunder Driver. What did you think of the match?
Who's going first?
Me.
I
started really cynically because we've had a bunch of bad women's moments.
Mm-hmm.
My first note is women's 2 minutes taking the piss.
Yeah, 100%.
And then this match happened, and it was women wrestling, not just 4 or 5 strikes and a move and throw into the ropes. They fucking wrestled. There was grappling. There was fucking counters. Deebs is great. There was so much character put across in so much time. Thunder Rosa just spouts out fucking Spanish insults, has the right facial expressions. The break wasn't dull either. It made me excited for Thunder Rosa. I gave it a B. Like, from a wrestling standpoint, it could possibly be an A, but the story is like lower there. But it was wicked.
Where was this? Where were female wrestlers like this? Why don't they have Deep on their contract? If she's just some moot they can get in for a match versus Thunder Rosa, why don't they sign her? Why isn't she part of their team? Oh, God. But no, this match, great. My favourite part was Austin Gunn defending Shida's honor whenever Thunder Rosa shouted about Shida. Austin Gunn was screaming, yeah.
God, he's great.
Yes. No, this was really good. It was like classic, like almost Stardom style wrestling with less knees to the face, but it was beautiful. I really enjoyed this.
What did you give it, Nick?
I gave it a high B because I was just excited to see good female wrestling. I was,
Yeah, fair. Morg, you're our women's expert. Back to you.
This was really, really good. I'm going to get this out of the way first. This is what happens when you bring in someone who used to be in CM Punk's stable. I I had to get that one out. Serena Deeb. I really like
Bill!
Serena Deeb. She's really good. Thunder
Bill.
Rosa was amazing. I really enjoyed this match. I think because it was such a good women's match, I may have been overly generous. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it needed a story. It didn't need one for me. I knew who they both were. It was two both legitimate workers. I gave it an A. I really enjoyed this match. It was solid. It was so nice to watch a women's wrestling match as well.
Yeah, wrestling.
And it was my match of the night. And I would say up until this point, it's between this and the Abaddon match because I'm such a mark for Abaddon as to what was my match of the week, and not including into the pay-per-view. I think it was a better match, but I'm such a mark for Abaddon. I know that I'm jaded as to how much I enjoyed it. Being objective, this was the better match.
Look back a month ago where we couldn't even stand a single females match that they were giving out. So, it's a good improvement. We should be happy with that.
Just fucking buy her from Crazy Smashing Pumpkins, man.
Mm-hmm. Or buy the NWA.
I mean, they probably can.
Yeah.
NWA is not doing well.
No.
Yeah, I think that's a high B to A. We'll see how the final rankings round out.
Following on from that, we had Mox promo.
Solid Mark.
It's a Mox promo.
Yeah.
After that, we had a strange Big Swole promo where she cut a promo, then she had a pizza delivered. The pizza was delivered by Rebby, and then they committed the ultimate heinous crime of destroying a pizza. What did you think of the promo? Did you give it a score?
It got a bit weird for me. I think on it went a little bit long. It seemed really rough with Swole. It was probably like grinding fucking pizza into her face. And at first I was like, ha, pizza rebel. And then I was like, oh, well, this seems a bit dark. I don't know, maybe it's me?
All I've got to say is we've all seen a better Pizza Man getting destroyed gimmick in Lucha Underground. So, we don't need to see another pizza get sacrificed to the gods.
This pizza did not get sacrificed to the gods.
That is a shame.
No, it didn't.
What a shame. I don't know. It's just pointless to me. And then we get the gimmick match announced. That's the tooth and nail match. So we're fighting in Britt Baker's dentistry for the pay-per-view.
More on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did you like this moment, Morg?
It was all right. It got the point over. Their whole thing has been this storyline between the two of them. It was nice heelish work. There is a little bit too much of a clash between Rebby and Britt, which I'll again more on that tomorrow. I've had some thoughts on the match on that. So it was all right. It was good heel work. They came across as a couple of douchebags. Yeah. It was a bit silly and then a bit psycho. I don't have a problem with her being quite so forceful with the pizza because it makes it look real. Make it, if you're going to push a pizza in someone's face, make it look like you're pushing a pizza in someone's face.
You can do that work on your punches.
That's true.
Yeah, fair.
So following on from that, we had Mark Sterling versus Mox, the lawyer versus the badass. Mox wins. I have just not ranked this match.
I've not ranked this match. Now I look at it.
I've ranked it.
Sterling did not need that much mic time at the start. He's not MJF.
Big times, Mick Sterling.
Muir actually watched this before me, so I asked him if the guy was at least a wrestler who could take bumps before I watched it, and he was like, yeah, it's okay. It was kind of funny in places.
But why did it need as much time as Sammy and Matt Hardy got last week? Why was it
got longer? Jesus.
Yeah, it got longer than Matt Hardy and Sammy.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The women's match should have been the main event over this.
Yes, 100%, mate.
Yeah, I didn't rank the match. What did you get? Muir, you're a sole ranker.
D. Fuck it.
D. Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
We did not need this match, and it. Why was it the final of the show? You could have finally had a decent.
It was the setup
MJF go
to
crazy.
yeah. MJF
Okay.
comes out after the match and destroys. This is why I didn't rank it. It was a segment. It wasn't a match.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't a match. It was all a setup for MJF and Wardlow to be a couple of badasses. For MJF to do the kind of the look who's violent now bit. It was supposed to be a little bit of a silly comedy for the fans in attendance. Let's watch the obnoxious lawyer get his comeuppance, which, as much as it was annoying last week and I didn't like it as a thing, at the same time, it's nice to see an obnoxious snobby twat get his comeuppance. That's wrestling 101. So yeah, the important part of this was MJF looking like a badass at the end.
I just wondered if he looked like he went a bit too crazy. Like he's in like, destroy. And I was like, is it because we liked him too much? Is it because we said he's doing face promo? Not us specifically, but possibly.
We know they listen.
Yes, Tony.
Did this need 15 minutes, though? That's my main question on this.
I think it's difficult to drag out the comedy story without, with the bits like, because I quite liked, as much as for a comedy match and for the story in the match, I quite liked the bit of Mox doing the go on then punch me, or put your fists like this. And I think to tell the story, you needed that little bit of time to get those
fair
across.
I don't know, because I don't like Mox. I'm going to be honest with you.
You did get to watch Wardlow like F10 him twice.
I did enjoy that bit very much so, because I love my Wardlow. So
that's something we've missed from the news. I need to do a quick callback. Actually, something really big from the news. In fact, Mox has been voted number 1 in the PWI rankings.
I did not know that. Write that down to say tomorrow as well.
Yeah, he is the number 1. He has been voted in the PWI rankings as the number 1 guy.
I was arguing with Ruth because she's not a Moxley fan, like I'm not really a Moxley fan. And she was like, oh, they need to do this with him and then this with him. I'm like, we're wrong.
We are wrong. No, I fully accept that I'm not right on this. I just don't like him. But, if other people like him and it keeps the show on the air, I am 100% for it.
He's technically sound.
Yeah. Can we just have more Mox versus Kenny, Mox versus Jericho, Mox versus Brody, Mox versus people who can go? Because those are what Mox thrives on. He is great. He is not. He needs a good opponent, and if he's got a good opponent, you will get a good to great match.
Best Moxley match is John Moxley versus Toru Yano in G1 last year. It was fucking brilliant.
Mox versus Janela, Mox versus Pac. I quite like.
They're both great, but it's not Mox versus Yano.
I'd like to see Mox versus Cody.
Welcome.
Yeah.
After we have no, I can't theorize more on this tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about this tomorrow. We'll have the discussion next time.
Overall, Dynamite, overall score. What have we got, Mr. Strange? You're usually our one who manages to give us the.
We've got 2 Guy Who Isn't Rumble, 2 Megatrons, and 2 Sound Devastators. Where it's 2 Ds, 2 Cs, and a B. So I think we're on a C. There are a lot of really good moments. But it sort of goes up and down a bit.
Yeah,
pacing wasn't good. It's a fine, good dark. It's what you should expect from your average wrestling show. There are just some good highlights in there, and a few moments where you'll go, "Did we need this?"
Yeah, I
think better than last week.
Yeah, I think we struggled this one. It was a go-home show, so it's very promo heavy, and we don't rank promos unless they are exceptional, and you're not actually going to get an exceptional promo on a go-home show. Weird as that sounds. You're just getting a storyline promo. You don't get I think the great promos always come at the beginning of the feud, not when you're hitting the end.
This Wednesday, we should be seeing the conclusion of all the stuff from the pay-per-view and what's going to be building next. So hopefully this Wednesday will be the one that takes what we've seen here and blows our fucking mind with some of it.
what we're all hoping for.
So there you have it. That is our review of the week and what we thought about these week's shows. Now we're going to do things a little bit different this week because it's been a very long week of wrestling.
Here it has.
Yes, it has.
We've had no questions, so very quickly, if you want to send any questions, wrestleopinionated@gmail.com, WrestleOP on Facebook, WrestleOP1 on Twitter. Send us questions. Mr. Strange doesn't have anything to get angry about. So, and instead of a discussion this week, what we thought is we'd bring in a couple of special guests, the Raptor Rue. We recorded this yesterday before we watched the pay-per-view. This is being recorded the day after, obviously. So I will now do the magic of editing and we'll bring in our predictions for all out. Hello and welcome to our predictions for AEW All Out 2020. We have some special guests here joining myself and Strange and Muir. We have the Raptor. Say hello, Raptor.
Hello, Raptor.
And we have Rue. Say hello, Rue.
Hi.
So these are going to be our predictions for AEW. We are recording these on the Saturday before. So I'm going to go through the card and go to everybody and they can make their predictions. So we're going to start off with the pre-show match, which is Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn versus the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver. Mr. Muir, to you first. Who do you think's winning this one?
Private Party.
Is anybody not going to say Private Party?
I don't want them to win, so I'm going to go with my heart.
I'm down with Double P. Dubs P.
So it's all Private Party except for the Raptor who's going Dark Order.
Yeah, because I just Private Party really annoy me.
They're
young.
though.
I don't like young people.
So next on my list for this is Britt Baker with Rebel versus Big Swole in the Tooth and Nail match. Mr. Strange.
It's obviously Swole wins, face win, end of the arc.
Raptor?
I'm going to go with something crazy happens, and I don't know. It's going to be something weird, like Sheeda jumps out of a cake or something. But if that doesn't happen, then it'll probably be Swole.
Rue?
I don't care who wins. I just want someone to lose a tooth. Because then the whole her being a dentist, she can go into like emergency mode. And be like, oh no, someone's lost a tooth. And she immediately just stops the match. It's just like, oh fuck, I've got to.
Do you want to bet on a random tooth loss during the match and dentist moment? Because it is a cinematic match.
Yeah, I'm with Ruth on this. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Okay,
fine.
Ruth's betting
Put it
on
down.
not
Someone
a winner, but a tooth-based dentistry moment.
As opposed to the face-based dentistry moments, the non-tooth-based dentistry that we normally see.
And Mr. Muir.
Oh, it's going to be Big Swole. It's a face stipulation.
So it's a dentist set match. I think you're right, though. I think it's going to be Big Swole. Next on my list, I have Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in a Broken Rules match. If Hardy loses, he must leave AEW. Raptor.
I think that it's unlikely that Hardy will lose and leave unless he's just fucking broken himself completely again and needs to retire. But unless he's done that, with a bit of luck, he'll win. And I don't agree with that. I think Sammy ought to be winning. But I think that Matt probably will under the stipulation.
Strange.
Silly stipulation, Matt wins. That nothing additional to say.
Rue.
Sammy Guevara is going to get fucking possessed by Matt Hardy.
Yeah!
He's going to get possessed.
You should book
Seriously.
matches.
Yeah, he's going to get fucking possessed. So Damascus is going to be like, yeah, you're right. Matt he is broken and I can't use him effectively. He's so crazy. But this Sammy Guevara, well, he's a sexy Spanish god and he's next to Chris Jericho and I'm a smart demon. And so I'm going into Sammy Guevara. So I think Matt Hardy as a demon is going into Sammy Guevara.
That's probably going to happen after the watershed.
Ambiguous win from Ruth, it would seem.
This is proper slash fiction. This one. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I've got a feeling that if Matt Hardy loses, he must leave AEW. I think Sammy's got to win. This is one of my risk picks. I think Sammy wins, and I think they're going to fuck the stipulation and WCW it, and we will get proper broken Matt afterwards, and not Matt Hardy.
We're definitely getting WCW either way in at least one of these matches.
It's going to have a very silly ending, but I think it's definitely going to be Sammy that's going to win this one, and then we're going to get some new character arc from Matt.
So next on my list, we have Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. It's a tag team match. Mr. Muir, who do you think's winning for this one?
Just instantly.
Yeah.
Bucks win.
Yeah.
Muir decided.
Does anybody think Jurassic Express is winning?
Lol, no.
I don't think they will, but out of dinosaur solidarity, I have to trust Luchasaurus.
He's not a dinosaur, though.
Do you mean Dean?
No, I would be very much pro them pushing that he's either a dinosaur or he's a man who thinks he's a dinosaur. It's one of the two. But they haven't gone all in on anything.
I mean,
anything at all.
This is possibly a discussion for another time if you wish to have a rant. I can tag you in for a future rant.
He's not a fucking dinosaur.
I'll have a rant in the future about reptile exploitation.
No more.
So, moving swiftly on, the Dark Order, Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson versus Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, The Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall with Ali in an 8-man tag. Strange. Let's go to you first this time. Who do you think's winning?
Nightmare People are winning. And I don't want to say Nightmare People are winning. And I don't want the Nightmare People to win. But I think the Nightmare People are winning.
Rue?
I'm going to go controversial on this one. And I'm going to go with the Dark Order win. Only because how could you possibly give this pay-per-view, this particular winning, over to the world's most boring stable?
Raptor?
I actually agree with Ruth. I think that story-wise, if the Dark Order, who work and train together and are completely under the thumb of Mr. Brody Lee, cannot beat a ragtag thrown together group who've never really wrestled as a foursome before. And
but you forget they're the Nightmare People.
Sorry?
Their bloodline is stronger than
Yeah.
Goku's.
To their bloodline. And you know, I just no, if they shouldn't win. It makes no sense. It's stupid. I suspect they will win, but I'm going to be angry.
Who are you betting on though?
I'm going to go with my heart. Dark Order.
And
Dark
Mr.
Order. Dark Order to win through Brody's power. To show off how powerful he is.
Yeah, you see, I agree with the rest of you. I think it is. I think it's going to be a Dark Order win. I think they're booking the Dark Order a lot stronger now. We haven't got any of the really silly people in this. Yes, we've got Evil Uno's been being a bit on the comedy side, on being the elite, and I think QT Marshall is in that match for one reason and one reason only:
to eat a pin.
That's the one. I think he's going to be chowing down on a pin. So on my list next, we have the Casino Battle Royale. There are 4 names yet to be announced. We've got 2 parts to this. Who do you think's winning it? And do you think there will be a surprise entrant? And if so, who? Currently on the list, we have Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr., Ray Fenwick, The Butcher, The Blade, Eddie Kingston, Sean Spears, Billy, Austin Gunn, Jake Hager, Santana Ortiz, Chuck Taylor, and Trent. So, Mr. Strange.
Nick Aldis. I think Nick Aldis is good enough that regardless of who the title is at the end of this, he can have a match with them and it'll be solid. They've got that NWA contract. Why not fucking milk it? If it's not Nick Aldis who wins it, it'll be whoever the surprise entrant is. But I think the surprise entrant is Nick Aldis.
Raptor?
Out of the people who are currently in, I'm holding out for Darby to win. And I'm desperately hoping for Miro, former Rusev, to debut.
Rue?
Pack. Pack. I hope it's Pack.
I hope it's Pack.
We all hope it's Pack.
Yeah. I hope the secret guy is Pack, and that Pack also wins. There we go. Simple. 1.
I'd like to say I would prefer Ruth's idea, but I think it's my idea.
It's Pack and Pack.
Is that your choice.
Yeah, I was going to go for that anyway.
You're going with your heart.
Yeah.
Nick's got hope back.
So
Loser.
I think they're kind of teasing that it's going to be Darby Allin. I think he's a good opponent for MJF if MJF wins.
Darby and Stark to go into the ring together.
I think Darby and Ricky need to take each other out to continue their storyline. I think Lance Archer's going to win.
I mean, he is divorced.
And I think the special guest, I'm going with Rusev Mirror as well.
Oh, cool.
That one's more because that's who I'd like to see. Next, we have probably the match I'm looking forward to the most on the card. Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa. This is for the AEW Women's World Championship. Raptor, who do you think's winning?
I'm sorry, I was talking about
Shida
Darby
Rosa.
Allin.
Who?
Shida Rosa. Shida, I think, will win. Yeah, definitely. I'm a serious wrestling critic. Yes. Because it makes no sense to put the title.
The Whammons were having a secret side conversation about relationships wrestlers are having, and we caught them in the middle of it. So I've had to remind them. So I'll take you back now.
Yeah, I think Shida will win because it doesn't make any sense to put, unless you're bringing Thunder Rosa in, but she's already holding a title from another promotion. So yeah, Shida.
Rue?
Yeah, Shida, because you wouldn't trade out your belt to someone outside of your promotion. There is a pragmatic reason for it, not a story reason. Thunder Rosa is infinitely more interesting than Shida.
Mr. Strange?
Shida. I mean, I'd love to see the Thunder Rosa fuck up story thing, but I don't think it's happening.
And Mr. Muir?
No one believes in Rosa free belts. Shida.
So a part of me would like to see Thunder Rosa win. If they're going to do the storyline I'm hoping for, if this was a book it on the fly, I would certainly be booking NWA versus AEW for the future story.
Oh, fuck, I've put Aldis. I vote for Rosa.
I think Shida's winning because I don't think they're doing that yet. But I think we're going to start getting the seeds of it. Are you switching your pick there, Mr. Strange?
No, because it's a long gamble on Aldis. It's mostly a dickhead pick. I'll stick with Shida.
So next on my list is the match I actually believe should be the main event. And I seriously hope it actually is. So it's Kenny Omega and Adam Page as the champions versus FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardwood with Tully Blanchard. It's a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Who do you think is winning, Mr. Strange?
It is a win for FTR. Is the beginning of 4, and it's the breakup of Hangman and Kenny, obviously. Ta-da!
Mr. Muir?
Same.
Raptor?
Controversially, the same.
Rue?
Yeah, it's the two wannabe biker uncles that wandered in with that fucking car, and then they couldn't start it for the second time we ever saw it. So it's those dudes with the jackets.
I
He doesn't
too
like FTR.
I'm going with FTR. I think that it's the obvious win, I think, as you said. So next on my list, we have the Mimosa Mayhem match. Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. Match can be won by pinfall submission or by throwing your opponent into a tank of Mimosa. Mr. Muir.
Well, Jericho's going in the Mimosa. He may have pinned Cassidy before or after that, but he's going into it. Yeah, I'm going for Cassidy win.
Rue?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Orange Cassidy on this one, where it's kind of like, yeah, all right, all good. Jericho's going in, it's all good.
Raptor?
I think that Cassidy will win. Jericho will go into the Mimosa, but at some point they will have to remove Adam Page, who will be trying to drink the entire thing.
And Mr. Strange?
It's got to be OC, surely, at the end of this little rumble. Realistically. Faces go over. They can't continue any further. It's got to be Orange.
Yeah, I think based on AEW's track record with the way they book faces, etc., Jericho's going in the Mimosa. Does he pin Cassidy beforehand? I really hope not. And as I had a rant about this before, I think that Orange Cassidy needs to win, and I'm therefore going to go with the pick I want to win, and I'm going with Orange Cassidy as well. And the last match I have on the card, Jon Moxley, the champion, versus MJF with Wardlow, a singles match for the AEW World Championship. Moxley is banned from using the paradigm shift. Who do you think's winning? Raptor.
I think, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense the way it's been booked for Mox to win, but at the same time, it's I don't know. It's just been a bit of a weird one. And I actually, despite being a big fan of both MJF and Mox, I don't actually give a fuck. Let's just hope that MJF loses because he's insufferable. Let's go with that. But I'm still living in hope that Kane bursts out from under the ring and kills both of them.
So a vote for 98 Kane.
Yeah, 98 Kane.
Rue.
She seems capable of speech at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I hope that MJF wins. I think he would be the better winner. I think the story is way funnier. Yeah, I hope he wins. He probably isn't going to win because Jon Moxley is basically the T1000. So
Who are you going to pick, though?
Jon Moxley's going to win.
None of us are happy about this.
Yeah, I don't want him to.
I'm going to say the same thing, and I'm not happy about it.
I don't understand why. It really annoys me. Oh,
Americans
God.
love him.
He's like the man inside of a goofy suit. Right.
Just a saddler.
Like, I can imagine the guy coming out of the goofy suit at the end of the day, and it's just Jon Moxley. See it.
I mean, to be fair, he does sweat quite a lot. I bet if I was in a goofy suit, I'd look like that at the end of the day.
He doesn't sweat as much as Shane McMahon, though, does he?
The sweatiest man in wrestling.
So, Ruth, you're voting for your prediction is Jon Moxley to win.
The goofy.
Surprise entrance to the Battle Royale.
Goofy. They've somehow licensed it from Disney, and Goofy burst out from the right-hand side.
Quick, Morg, take control. Go.
So, Mr. Strange, your pick.
Mox. I want it to be MJF, but it's going to be Mox. He's been too... the Healy build has been too much up for a face not to win.
And Mr.
We're not
Muir?
really fatty heels.
Yeah, it's Mox.
So I've said this before. I think that this undefeated streak of MJF's is a albatross around his neck. It needs to be nipped in the bud as quick as possible because eventually you're going to get to the point where nobody is the right person to beat him. I think going up against the world champion is the right thing. The interesting thing is what happens if Moxley does use the paradigm shift because he'll get disqualified, but the belt does not change hands on a disqualification.
I don't think he gets disqualified. It's not a match stipulation. It's just a legal contract thing that he'll get sued.
He'll
if he
get
does it.
sued.
So Blake's going to do it and just get sued.
Yeah.
I don't even think
go
that
with-
Smart Mark is a real lawyer.
I'm going to go with Mox, but I have a feeling that they're actually going to do it. They're going to pull the trigger on MJF now. I think Mox has had the belt long enough, but I'm going to go with Mox because I'm going to go with who I think should win because I think that will actually be better for MJF. So there you have it. Sorry that the sound quality was not the greatest. That is because three of the people are sat around a single mobile phone. That's our predictions. We will see how we have done after we have watched All Out tonight. So, yeah, there you have it. That's our predictions, probably with a slight edit in it somewhere. That's our show for this week. That's our thoughts. Join us again when tomorrow we will be releasing our review of AEW's All Out 2020 and our thoughts after a long week of much wrestling. I'd like to thank Anchor.fm for hosting the podcast. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Anchor.fm. We are wrestling opinionated on all of them. Mr. Muir, over to you.
I'd just like to thank everybody for listening, and I'd like to catch you all again tomorrow when we release our other show. Thank you very much, and over to you, Strange.
Cheers for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your other wrestling friends that we're fucking hilarious and do the best fantasy booking on the internet and that Tony Khan listens to us. If you are Tony Khan, please like, share, and subscribe and pass this on to your friends and pay for me to have a house. But otherwise, thank you for listening. Back to you, Morg.
All that's left to be said is goodbye and good night.